Shaun Attwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson. We're live on Sunday night with Crime 3 with Jon Wedger. Hope everyone is doing well. I will be in touch with the Discord tomorrow. It's been a bit of an interesting weekend. So, Jon, you've been away. How was your trip? Fill us in.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've been to Croatia and Bosnia. Been right in the heart of Bosnia for a few days to a town called Medjugorje, which is meant to be the holiest place on earth. And it was fantastic. I met up with an old Metropolitan Police inspector who sort of does a lot of work out there, and I met with the America's #1 busiest appointed whatever Vatican appointed exorcist, a guy called Father Dan Rehill.
Oh wow!
I met with both of them out there, and yeah, and there was even people that knew me. You know, both in Bosnia and Croatia, so it shows this is international.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a bizarre place, Medjugorje. Bosnia, for those who've been there or who don't know, it's incredibly rural. There's not much in Bosnia, but this town is like the Wild West. It just sort of appears like a strip in the middle of the forest, and it's the site of the most amount of apparitions. Holy apparitions ever, and it's
called Medjugorje, right? Medgorje. No, Jugorje.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Medjugorje.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of Irish travellers go out there. It's a bit of a pilgrimage venue for them.
Right.
So, but there's people from all around the world, and I say it was good. It was a very enlightening place, and it was great to see my old colleague there, fellow police whistleblower, DI I worked under. He was out there. Great to see him. I met up with Dan Rehill. There's plenty of stuff on him. Dan is a very active Vatican appointed exorcist from New York City. And we met up with him, so it was great. It was great, and then, but we got arrested.
What?
Crossing the border, because it was a bit of a mess getting there. It's Medjugorje is quite a long way from. You have to come into Croatia, and you have to sort of go into the mountains, and it's a bit of a trek. It's a bit of a journey, and luckily, my mate gave me a lift. He said, "It's okay, I'll give you a lift." And as we drove out of Bosnia, the customs just flagged us through, no problem. Said, yeah, just keep going. But we didn't realise the next two port cabins along the way were the Croatian customs and the Croatian police. We just drove past them, and we got chased by the authorities, and we got sort of pincered on a country lane and got detained, got arrested, and dragged back. And you know, the Croatians, they can get stuffed. I don't like them anymore, because they actually tried. They tried to stitch us up, saying that we drove through at nearly 80 kilometres an hour, which was nonsense. It was from when we stopped. The port came from when we stopped to the next one was only a matter of a few metres, and to accelerate to 80 kilometres in that, it was just nonsense. And they actually tried to stitch us up, and it was only the fact that my driver was an ex Met Police inspector and a tough Irishman, and he won't have none of it, and he kicked off, and they got accused of corruption and all sorts, and we were going to take it to another level. Told them we're not just the average tourist, and they actually backed down, but they tried to stitch us up, the Croatian police. Yeah, so till the day I die, I can't stand them, I think. But the Bosnian police were good as gold. They were lovely. They were honest, but Croatians, they can get stuff, as far as I'm concerned.
Rubbed you up the wrong way, mate. That's
it. Yeah, that's it. So, so the Croatian Tourist Board, I'm not your friend.
I mean, what a car full of people to do it to, though, Jon. Do you know what I mean? A bunch of ex-coppers from the UK.
Well, they tried it on. You know, they tried it on, and they got bitten, and that was that. We just weren't having it. You know, we had a united front, and we really dug our heels in. So, okay, we drove through your checkpoint. We're sorry about that, but they tried to stitch us up, and it weren't happening. It weren't happening. We knew the score. We knew the apple core on that one, and and they eventually backed down. they showed defeat and backed down. But if we'd have just been normal civilians, they'd have tried it on. They'd have definitely tried it on. So, yeah, if anyone's got any connection with the Croatian police, message from ex-Scotland Yard Detective Jon Wedger: you are a bunch of tossers, and I don't trust you. But anyway, so that put a little bit of enjoyment into it, and I did a pant swim in Croatia, but I was also met with someone who watches this show. Someone said they followed my stuff on Shaun Attwood, and they sort of come and approached me in a little harbour in Croatia just as I was on my way back to the airport. So shows that we get out there. The stuff does go global.
Well, that's interesting. Everywhere you go, you seem to attract somebody that's seen the show for sure. Give me 1 second, John. All right. Now, of course, John, you've been away. There's a couple of things that have popped up in the news. One of them being a new documentary about Madeleine Mccann, which is Madeleine Mccann, The Unseen Evidence. And apparently this was done with The Sun. And the... John, tell everyone about your pants swimming and how awesome you are for 2 minutes.
Yeah, of course. So, sorry, I haven't researched the recent Madeleine Mccann stuff because, to be honest, I have no need to. In my humble opinion, the girl's long dead and died on the night of the incident, or maybe before. And I think that the police don't need to look for anyone else or any other evidence because it's quite conclusive what happened. But there is a guy that approached me over 2 years ago who was heavily involved in the adult swinging scene around Northampton, Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire. And he had some quite compelling evidence relating to the McCanns, and he did take it to the police, and he did take it to the national newspaper, and they just were not interested at all. And the stuff he was telling me was, it seemed very, very credible. So I don't know why the national media are taking an interest now. I don't think really that the truth on this matter will ever surface. And the fact that that the Home Office have chucked more money. I mean, Yvette Cooper. I had someone tell me that Yvette Cooper actually knew the McCann. So it'll be interesting to see if there is a conflict of interest. Does Yvette Cooper actually know the McCanns through her social life, which is what I was told was the case. And I have a witness who was happy enough to go to the police and proclaim that, but they weren't interested. So in my opinion, what a massive waste of taxpayers' money. And I can't see there is any sort of public interest in this anymore. It's
Oh, John, just you wait. Just you wait until you hear this, mate. This is going to raise an eyebrow. So what we'll do, Ron, is I'm going to save your question until after we fill John in and what's been going on. I mentioned the documentary, John, and this ties in with everything that came out the other day about Christian B. Unseen Maddie Files, mystery hard drive, pics found at Maddie suspect Christian B's lair that led cops to conclude missing toddler has been unalive. Now, John, I'm not being funny. When was all of this found? Because if they were working on this documentary for a year, why are we only hearing about it now? That's my first question. Okay, we'll read on a little bit. Bombshell evidence found at the lair of Madeleine Mccann suspect Christian B is revealed for the first time. A Sun investigation to be broadcast at 9 p.m. tonight on Channel 4 has laid bare the haul found by German police. The abandoned factory owned by Madeleine Mccann suspect where German police searched for evidence. I mean, that's a grim sight.
But look at the terminology, the lair, like he's some sort of master criminal.
Yeah,
it just looks like an abandoned porter cabin instead of a mastermind of crimes lair. They really do butter it up. But you know, did we really need the Sun newspaper and Christian Bruckner or whatever his name is to tell us that
John,
you know
John,
what's
let's
happened to us?